So I farm so hard, the employees wanna find me, and then wanna hire me. What's 100K to a guy like me? Could you please remind me? Farm so hard, this ain't easy. Working late nights, you best believe me. My grades can only go A's. Never wanna see another B unless I'm Jay-Z. Farm so hard.
Hey guys, Jim Bird here. I am doing this video that you guys asked me to do on what to look for when you're looking to a residency program. I know that if I can go back to PGY1 or as a student looking for PGY1s, I would do things a little less emotional and not based off what everyone else is saying, but really do it a lot more based off of what I want in a program and what are the needs that I have. And that makes things very different. And it does a few things. What it does is it makes it so where you can meet the best program for you and not just applying to a program because they have a particular name. So I didn't do much preparing for this. I just want to really do this as if I was someone going through this process again. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen and share the tool that I use when I went through PGY2. And it really helped me. And I personally had the best match experience that you can possibly have. I cried on match day. It was a big deal. My mom cried. It was that good because I got a program that met all of my needs. And that's going to be something that I'm hoping that I can share with you guys. So programs that are looking at this, this is just for practice. This is just something that can be done for PGY1. This is not to diss a particular program or to highlight a particular program. It's not advertising for them either. I just want to go about this in a way that if I was doing it for the first time all over again, what would I look for? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to jump right into this. All right, so this is the tool that I use. This particular tool here is a residency scorecard. And I wanted to create something a little different because I didn't want to go about this in a way that it really made sense for me to do. So these are some of the things that I looked at when I went back through. So I made a scorecard here. As you can see, I gave points 1 through 3, and I have all my hospitals listed here. The things that matter to me, and I have a list here of things that you guys wanted when I surveyed everyone on Instagram and Twitter, and I want to look for a program. Again, when I got here's a residency size of 1 to 4 or 5 to 9, since it was 40% from the 1 to 4 standpoint and 39% for the 5 to 9. The institution type was academic medical center and 35% said a community hospital. The things that they were interested in at this time was going to be oncology, critical care, EM, and AM care. So I'm going to go about this in a few different ways, but I really want you to guys get what you guys asked for and how I'm going to go about looking at this. The next thing I asked people was what location were they interested in? And most of them, again, 46% of them said the South. So we're going to look at that and make sure that we're able to get people what they need in that standpoint. And the thing I'm going to go through is I'm going to give you guys my method of how I go about looking at these programs. So let's take a look here. We can see we have from a teaching standpoint, that was a big thing. How I'm going to assess is that program's a teaching hospital. Of course, they're going to be able to say they're academic medical center, but how many medical residencies do they have? Do they have a school of pharmacy associated with it? Do they have a teaching certificate? These are some markers that I use. How are their preceptors? This is going to be challenging. Have you had any interaction with them? The number of preceptors in that group, the prestige, all these things are going to be things that are very subjective. I can't tell you how to go about this, but these are the things that I looked at. Staffing, do you have an on-call program? I wanted one of those. Was it Q2 versus Q3 versus Q4 weekend? I wanted to see what was the difference between them. Again, one's not better than the other, but it really just depends on what you want. If you're on call, that's going to build a certain characteristic that I've noticed over the years really produce a very independent thinker. Next thing, rotations. That's going to be huge. Area of interest, interaction with preceptors, good feedback on the preceptor group. I want to see what was going to be that. Prestige of the program and post-grad job placement. Those were some big things. Fit, again, you can only get this by interactions in PPS. PGY2 program interest. Again, if you're someone who knows they want to go into oncology, this is something that mattered to me coming out. Or if you had a second interest, what is critical care? Again, having that really helped us out quite a bit. Looking at research as well, identifying whether these programs had a level of A support. Do they have a flip program? Do they have some type of assistance? Is there anyone on staff that does most of the research? What are their publication rates? These are some of the questions that I would ask. Location is going to be huge for a lot of you guys. Weather, family, access to an airport that can get you back and forth. If that's the case, if there's a direct flight between where your residency program could be and your home, that made a big deal to me. Relationship with MDs, you can only really get that you can really get that mostly on your interviews, but this is something you can ask out the director or administration support and presence. That's also something that's very subjective. Level of organization, again, how are their website, PPS, if things look together, how are their emails, did they get back to you, discussion with the staff, again, whether they're students, residents, people that you know, who can you reach out with to give you your understanding of how organized you're going to be, because for 1 year, that level of organization can be passed on to you. Next thing we'll look at is time and mentorship with the RPD. Depending on the program you go to, with a smaller group like the ones that you guys asked for, again, that's going to be a big thing. You're going to spend a lot of time with that RPD. The next thing looking at, it's very similar to what we've seen before, but post-residency job opportunities. Do they have a lot of people or a lot of residents that stayed on at the current site? Where does those residents practice? Some places have a website, web page actually that says, hey, this is where our residents are currently located. And then residents seeming positive for the program. I will say this is going to be interesting because the time that you guys are going to see this is going to be the time that most people have deadlines due. They're upset. There's a lot of stuff going on. And sometimes I think it's really just I think some of the negativity is overblown compared to the things that they're actually looking for. And lastly, I have a bonus area here, the things that I feel are going to be pretty big, and then looking to see if they have a social media presence, because this is going to be something I think is a game changer in 2020, 2023, because now you can get a lot of these fits and you can get to see a lot more about your program based off some of the things they have going on. So this is unique. So I'm going to just go ahead and look at what you guys gave me. I'm going to look for a program in the South that has a few residents. I'm going to look at academic medical center. And I'm going to look for oncology. So I just want to start with this chart. And then now let's go into the easiest thing to catch. I'm going to say it's going to be our location. So I'm going to go ahead and switch screens here and go to the ASHP directory. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start here and search directory. I'm going to start with a state. Again, sometimes we want to go certain places. I'm just going to start with I'm just going to pick somewhere. I'm going to say that I'm going to pretend that I'm in North Carolina. Let's just start there and work our way down. You want a PGY1 program. And I'm going to just make sure academic health sciences. And that seems to be it. You can put pharmacy here just to make sure, but that's going to help us break down quite a bit. So let's just go ahead and start there. That one didn't work, so let's take that out. Now let's see. It should give us a ton. All right, so we have a significant amount. We have 55 results. That's just in the state of North Carolina. Let's just pick a few and see if they match what we have. Let's go. So this is the first one. Let's just see what we have here. All right, going to be Burlington, North Carolina. Academic Medical Center. This is going to be their RPD. Stroll down, number of positions 2. So that's going to definitely meet our requirements. But let's go down here and take a look at some of the features of the program. Community base, pharmacy leaders, addition completeness will be prepared for PGY2, provides opportunities in the special areas, internal, ambulatory care, cardiology, community oncology, so okay. Administration research, residents are reciting a research project, a standard, completed research, MUE, form review, that seems pretty standard. Our opportunity to work with the open door clinics to serve our community and indigenous population. That can be key for someone. Preceptors students from UNC. Okay, and High Point, that's going to be a pretty cool thing as a member of the Cone Health System. Early commitment process at the positions at Cone Health. So that's going to be something I want to look at. I want to dive a little deeper here, but this is a pretty good start to see what we're looking at here. All right, it says community care, a few different things here. It's kind of confusing to try to figure out what model. I see acute care, hospital, ambulatory care, maybe that's just their different centers since it's that. Pharmacy staff 20, about 238 beds, not-for-profit community health system. So again, it doesn't look like that's going to be an academic medical center. That's not going to rule them out. It's just something I want to take attention to. All right, daily census 165. Let me just go up here and see if I can get some information about their website. All right, Cone Health, Cool Beans. This is going to be their acute care process. There's going to be Ambulance Regional Medical Center. Let's dive a little deeper to see what we have here. Similar information. Let's go straight to now. So we know it's a couple residents, so that we got the location. We got the residency class. Let's look at the rotation. That's the first thing I'm going to look at. Let's look at the rotations. And what I'm starting to see here on the right side, a few different spots. So let me see if I can get anything here. All right, mentioned a few different things. We have the program overview. Hem-onc is a rotation, so at least I have that. If we're going to pretend that we have a critical care interest as well, we have that as well. Some longitudinal experience. This is interesting. Again, I'm an EM guy, so having a longitudinal EM rotation, that's intriguing. Pharmacy admin. They have a teaching certificate. Evidence-based medicine. That's intriguing. We got staffing here too. One day a week and every third weekend. So that's something I want to capture there. I'll see the preceptors. See if we know anyone here. Let's see. Can we click on next people? Nope, we just have a list. Okay. Let's have a look here. All right. Really can't tell too much. If I'm an onc person, I'll be slightly intrigued to see if you have anybody that's, to have board certification. And it feels not something that's a must, but something I'm looking for just to see. See their current residents. Again, there's 2. So we can click on them. That's pretty cool. They have just their information. So if I want to reach out to someone, I can just reach out there. Cool beans. Just what are the things they like. It shows here the people, environment, among residency opportunities. Immediately, the preceptors were committed to developing resident people. Environment is supportive and a growth mindset. That's a key thing for me, so I will take that in hand. All right, let's see. And they practice areas, internal medicine. So it looks like they at least have someone there for that. Let's look at Brandon. He's interested in critical care. So that's cool. Okay, chose it for people. Rotation made me feel welcome to the interest in not only academic but our personal life as well. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's just their places here. Let's take a step back. So application, let's see some interesting stuff here. Deadline is going to be the 6th, so that's pretty cool. Go to the match. More information there. So just the standard things here, CV, letter of intent. Ask for 3 references who are familiar with you. They prefer clinical faculty or employers to provide a reference. So that's something I would go and highlight as well. They have some pretty interesting things here. So include comments in at least 10 of the 13 boxes. And places write a formal letter. So that's something I'll probably pass on. I'm going to go ahead and copy this right here. That's something I want to capture. I'll go back to my list over here. And I may actually just look at hospital 1. I'll place that somewhere down here so I can just have it. I may go into a little bit more depth when I go into these different programs. So I have some just different stuff listed here. But I would probably want to go back and take a peek at a few more things and keep those with me. All right. So it definitely seems like a program that I'd be interested in. The thing for me, again, I would want to look for a program that actually, again, it seems like they're a great program. I'm going to go ahead and see they're part of a healthcare center, and I've actually heard some good things about them. I want to see again, ambulatory oncology. Let's take a peek at that, because that may be a place that, if you're interested in early committing, I may want to take a peek at that. So we have a few people here: residency director, the coordinator. I want to know what site they're located at, because that may be intriguing. That's sometimes that I just want to know. At Cone Health Cancer Center. Okay. So that may not be the same place, but it's not a problem. It's always in the same system. Some things they're interested in, look at those rotations, because again, if they have those rotations available, these may be some locations where I can actually do my PGY1 rotations in, get to know these preceptors, and then that's a way that I can, if they mention it, so I'll probably be interested in early committing. So it's something I want to see. Tons of opportunities. It's very diverse too. I like that. Different areas. Let's see. Yeah, I remember we said this before. So tons of BCOPs. So yeah, it's all spaced throughout there. So it have a pretty large preceptor group. So that's pretty cool. Have one resident there. So that's something I would probably want to dive a little deeper to see what site this is at, because something I'd be intrigued with, but also just realizing that it is ambulatory oncology, and it may be something a little different than more the inpatient side, but that's not my specialty, so I don't know too much. I would probably reach out to a few people. I'll probably reach out to an RPD to see a little bit more about that. I have a few more questions I would like to know. Where is Cone Health Cancer Center? Let's just Google it to see. Yeah, let's just Google that. Oh, it looks like it's there. So I see a few. Okay. So I'm intrigued to see like where this is located, because now it seems like they got a few different spots. Yeah, they have a few different locations. So I'll probably want to look a little deeper into that. So that's something I'm intrigued with. It's a few questions I want to ask that'll help me from a PGY1 standpoint to figure out what center. Again, it may not matter. It's a question I probably want to ask when it comes to the whole early commit thing. So that's one program. All right, let's take a peek out. See what else we have. That's just a quick look. And again, if you heard some of these programs, let's just take a peek around. Let's just see Blue Cross Blue Shield, community-based, Cape Fear, Carolina Medical Center. Let's take a peek. Peek there. Let's see. I think that's in Charlotte. Let's take a peek. Yeah, that's in Charlotte. So for me, that will be something I'm intrigued with. Let's see. Got the RPD here. Actually, no Carlton Maxwell. So I'm hoping I'll be a little biased. Let's take a peek. Number of residents, 6. So let's pretend we're going to move to our next group. Again, bigger residency class. So residency class 5 to 9. Again, having the academic component as well. The next interest group will be critical care EM. So that's what I would look at. And then this is still in the South as well. So staying within so I have a little different, again, since that's actually what I practice in, I'll probably have a little bit more to say. So let's take a little quick peek here. CMC level 1, academic medical, flagship hospital for Atrium Health. That's pretty cool. Seems like they have a host of different things here. Quality, leadership, monthly rotations include, quite a bit. So internal medicine, infectious disease, AmCare, cardiology, EM, hemonc, peds, solid organ transplant, clinical toxicology. So that's going to be pretty cool. So I got a critical care, EM, clinical toxicology. That's all kind of in the same wheelhouse here. So longitudinal learning experience. All right, seems pretty cool. Let's look academic medical center. Much bigger pharmacy staff here, 100. Big center as well, 950 beds. That's pretty big. So we have some information here. Seems like they're up to date on their Instagram and Twitter as well. So that's something, again, slight bias, something to look at. Let's take a peek. So far I got an academic medical center. I got a bigger class. I got critical care and EM. So something that I'm actually intrigued with here. So let's take a deep down. It seems like their website is all nice and clean. Oh yeah, it's super clean. Seems like I can get a lot of information. So we have that. Over 1,000 medical students, pharmacy students, physician extenders. So it seems like it's a pretty big academic center. So that's something that's intriguing. Again, if you want that bigger academic feel, big medical teams, everyone learning and teaching around, that's something that's going to be intriguing. Let's see. Largest hospital in Atrium Health, 7 ICUs. That's going to be big. Again, 7 ICUs. That means that they're going to be seeing a ton of patients. So big center, multiple those trauma centers, stroke comprehensive. So for my neuro ICU people, that's going to be cool. 1 of 5 academic systems in C, Department of Graduate Medical Education. That's going to be cool as well because, again, they put everyone under one umbrella. 24-hour EM care, med flight, transplant center. So just a few different things, cancer, children's, epilepsy center. Seems like they have a little bit of it all. So that's something I want to kind of jot down. It seems like they're pretty big, have multiple ICUs. So I would check out the application process, make sure I'm not missing anything here. JFers, I know who to reach out to if I have any questions. In 6 spots, so that makes it nice. Alrighty, looking to everything is through forecast the usual 3 letters. At least 2 have to be clinical rotations. So that's something I will just copy over here. Go ahead and put in put that over here for hospital number 2. That'd be great. So let me go back to where I was. Looking around. Yeah, it seems like they have a little bit more stuff to put in there as well. So that'd be something I gave to my letter writers as well. Following, hold on, I did. So something you want to peek out here. Some of these sneak by you, but you want to make sure you check the site. So you have a supplemental applications. You want to be able to require below, fill out the following 4 multiple choice forms. Okay, let's take a peek. Okay, so it seems like it's something I can knock out pretty quickly. Oh, that's a very modest one. So that's something you can knock out in a few seconds. It's nothing to look at. I mean, duration, boom, knock that out. I mean, after rotations completed, you round it most days of the week, boom, that's easy. Next one, after rotation, your schedule in which anticipates rounding most days with a team. Include that, boom, that's another one. Okay. So the future ones and the current ones to be done, and then research. Oh, that's sweet. You can knock that out in a few seconds. So that's one of the ones I'm not worried about at all. So that's something I can easily get through. I'll go back down here, check out the faculty to see what we have. As far as preceptors, do I know any of them? Are any of them on Twitter? Okay. Carlton Maxwell, again, to see. He's there. He's an admin in cardiology, so that's cool. EGY2 and Emmington. VCU is pretty cool. He's been there for quite a while, so that's pretty cool. If you look, he's actually the past president of the National Pharmaceutical Association and current executive director. Okay, so he's like pretty involved outside too. Sat on alumni board, as far as HHP, ACCP, Preceptor of the Year. Okay, so that's pretty dope knowing that the RPD was like Preceptor of the Year. So, okay, let's look here. A few more people that's on here. Did ID at there, so she stayed there. So that's something I'm going to jot down as well. So let's look for the critical care people. Let's jump to it. Critical care. Yeah. All right. She's pretty involved. Doing MUSC. Okay, got her certifications there. Let's see if we have any more care people. There's quite a bit. A few more people. So PEDS critical care, so that's dope. Surgical critical care. All She's been there for quite a while as well. So it seems like a lot of her people has been there. That means something. Another piece, critical care. So it seems like you got a diversity, thoracic, cardiothoracic, CT surge. That's pretty cool. And then it came, actually, so that's something that's cool as well. You kind of, PTY 1 with the VCU and came back. Okay. Worked in the ER, started transitioning. So that's going to be cool. You have someone that actually knows the ER that went to CT surgery. So if you're interested in both, that's another unique thing to look at. All right. If you have any more critical care people. All right. That's pretty dope. So 1, 2, 3. I think someone did work as cards in critical care in Kansas City before moving over. So a lot of people who did it in the past. Yeah. That's pretty dope. And then being a fellow of ACC, a fellow of CCM. So if a fellow of SCCM, so that's pretty dope. All right. Yeah. You don't get that easily. So that's pretty smart. Somebody I want to learn from. And then this person in a medical ICU, so the program coordinator is actually an ICU pharmacist. So this is pretty cool too. Did ID, but then that got a master's of business. So, a few different things that they're working on. So for me, that's something that's intriguing because I got now someone who I know. The RPD seems pretty cool because he's going to win an award, involved in multiple areas. Critical care group seems pretty big. It seems like they've done some different things and have a diversity of people and also have that. So I kind of look at this and go back to my thing here and I say, okay, for group 2, it definitely seems like they have a teaching. We can see more information by talking to people, but it seems like the number of preceptors or prestige, that's going to be something I'm going to put up there as well. I haven't found the staffing yet. A few other, again, I've seen a lot of people who went to residency there and then came back, and that's just for an easy glance. I'll probably look at more of these people, but that's something I want to put up there. I'm going to put a 2 or 3. I'm going to put a 3 right there just as a holder. Probably from what I want, probably want a PPS with them because that kind of makes me intrigued. A few different things I want to look at. Location is good. Charlotte's going to be great. Weather, depending on where I'm located, if I'm basing it off of me, there's going to be somewhere it's a direct flight. So I'm going to with that. A lot more information I want to get. Website seems pretty great. Let's take a peek if they have anything like on Twitter. Let's see, Atrium. Let's see. Let's see if they go by Carolina Medical Center. Well, they've had it on there, so let me go back and just find a location. They have it listed on here. Seems like they put a lot of their residents out there. Let's take a peek. Seems like they're going out, hanging out. That's pretty cool. Yeah, have a pretty decent social media presence, so that's something I'm intrigued with. So that's a little that'd be a little extra bonus for me because that's something that I would like to be involved in. So I'm gonna go ahead and just check that out. Look at a few more things. Program alumni, that's another big thing. Yeah, cool beans. So they got people. They tell where they're going. So clinical staff. Okay, clinical pharmacist here. Advertise. Okay, so one person stayed there. One stayed there. A couple people stayed. So this may be a pretty good opportunity again, especially again, someone stayed here for critical care. So that's my area of interest. I'll probably want to hang out every year. Yeah, every year, a couple. Yeah, this is like we're going back. For me, that's a big thing. So that's something I'm looking for. Every single year, a couple people stay back, and we're going back, and it had to have some kind of organization to keep up. So I'm intrigued with that. Yeah. So you got to go back to 2014. So most of the people that's applying right now, that's what, close to 9 years ago, you guys were like in either a high school or middle school. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to look for some specifics to the program. Let's look at rotations required. Yeah, that ID and Med. This one I want. Electives are plentiful. Oh wow! So again, if I'm ICU, ED, I think clinical toxicology, you have that. NICU. Oh wow, you have like multiple pediatric ICUs. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. And then only you have 3 more here, so that's something that's pretty intriguing for me. Spell everything out here. I'm intrigued in the teaching part. So teaching and learning curriculum program located through the Teaching and Learning Committee, Carolina Medical Center, Carolina Health and Education Center. So you have a teaching certificate there. That's something I was looking for. Research. So the committee provides oversight for research projects as well as coordinated through the residency series. It includes lectures and study design, biostatistics. So, this is pretty cool here. So at least we know now we can go back into our previous one and just see that again from a research standpoint. It seems like there seems to be a level of assistance. So that's something I'm looking for. So go ahead and do that. Let's go back here so you can find some more stuff. MUE, some mentorship. Each residency is a longitudinal mentor throughout the year to attend their monthly residency handoff between income and ongoing. That's pretty cool. Again, at least I know I'll be able to have someone that can kind of get me through those. So yeah, this thing's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Yeah, that's a program. Again, if I'm looking for that type of program in the South, critical care, ED, this is something that I would just at least look at. I probably want to PPS with them and see if the vibes are good and go from there. I have a few different things here as far as they have oncology and PGY2 and ID. I don't see critical care, but that's something I would look into. So that would probably be the one thing I want to see if they had like a PGY2 and critical care either on the horizons or if it's something that was coming, but I would look at that a little bit more. So I'm going to just stop there for today. That was kind of a longer video than I anticipated, but these are some of the things I would want to kind of capture initially, and a lot more of the information to come from emailing the residents, talking to people that are part of the program, and just getting a list. At this point, I'm just going blind based off this one state, but that was just something that I wanted to see if we can at least look and see, what about these programs? What am I looking for? And how can I narrow down some programs before and after mid-year and have more of I would like to say objective markers. So a lot of this you can fill out prior to, but as you go forward here, there's a lot more information you can fill out. I would have just the link to the programs, the match number, the type of center, start date, bed count, PGY2 positions, total residencies. That's something that matters to me. I wanted a big class. Deadline, stipend, number of letter recs. For me, ED beds was big. Trauma center, then PGY2s you can put in there as well. And then you can put on, move this out the way, your elective program. So again, looking at these a few different things would help out. So I'll put the different things on here to see what do I want. Different contacts, personal information, number, PGY2, services, extra. And I just put all that stuff here to keep track of all of it. So it made it very easy for me to keep track. And this is what I used when I went to PGY2. So, and then after that, you can kind of go and have like kind of open highs comments, attend PPS, yes, no, some post PPS comments, on-site interview, the things that you check, and if you had a thank you letter. So this is kind of what I use and something that you guys can use. Let me know if it's something that you guys want. I can get it to where I can email it to you guys. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I don't want to make this too long. But thank you guys. So again, if you want more content like this, or if you want to get more detail, let me know. DM me on Twitter, Instagram, any of those things, and we'll make it happen for you. And of course, guys, we're always trying to find the best way to help you guys farm so hard. So I thank you. And I in every single clip, every single thing the same way, guys. You don't have to be a pharmacist. You don't have to work in the ED, but everything you do, make sure you farm so hard.
Closes it. Ozzy scratches his head. Whatever she's looking for, it isn't in there.